Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Stop Being Sold. My name is Michelle, and I'm here with Brian. And in today's video, we're discussing a few reasons why you should actually give a flying flip about your 401k.
A flying flip. I love it.
Right? Well, that's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
So for most people participating in 401k plans, it may be the largest asset earmarked for retirement. Yet, Brian, I know you've heard it. I've heard it. The sentiment is shifting. We've got the rise of Bitcoin. Well, I mean, Bitcoin's, now it's in more mainstream, I should say.
Sure.
And other crypto assets are often outperform traditional retirement vehicles. Plus, you've got this growing distrust in banks, investment institutions, governments, and some people aren't as keen as they once were to invest in their 401k. And then you have other people. There's another group of people who may be strapped for cash due to rising inflation,
Right.
who are choosing to earmark that money or not save more each paycheck just to cover the cost to fill up their gas tank, their kids' gas tanks. I mean, I don't know. I feel so sorry for some of these people who have 3 to 4 teenagers, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're right, Michelle. Inflation's definitely creeping into it, and that sentiment has changed. And
Sure.
Bitcoin and cryptocurrency sentiment has changed. And earlier this year, you'll recall I talked about the Miami National Bitcoin Conference that I went to. I started to ask some questions there because I wanted to understand what the sentiment was
Right.
towards 401ks and traditional investing, and a perfect opportunity with 5,000 plus people there, right? So I specifically remember one story of a young lady, her and her fiance were there, and asked her about, what's your 401k? What do you do with it? How do you manage it? And then also manage your crypto at the same time. She goes, honey, and look at my 401k. Look, I got a little over 150,000 in my 401k at 33 years old. I'm happy with it. Let it ride. I don't even look at it. She goes, I actively manage my crypto portfolio first.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you got a 401k advisor or someone help you with that? And she says, no, I would never hire a financial advisor because mom and dad had advisors for 30 plus years and they're flat broke in retirement, and I'm doing better than them. So
yeah. Ouch. All right.
I'm like,
before we dive in,
face.
right? Exactly. If you like the content of this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another video from us. We are really working hard here at Stop Being Sold to help individuals stop becoming a transaction and instead become an informed consumer, whether you're buying crypto, whether you're investing in 401ks, IRAs, annuities, it doesn't matter. It's time that we take our power back. So on that note, here we go. Brian, I know that I've done enough videos with you. I know the first reason you're going to mention as to why people should care about their 401k is that Social Security is not even close to enough to live on.
You're so right. The big S word, the double S word, right?
S squared.
We've heard for decades, Michelle, that Social Security should not be the only income you have in retirement, and you shouldn't rely on it, right? They always want you to have extras because of the fact that Social Security's got limitations, right? And so we feel that it should be your base income and then draw off your 401k or additional assets that you may have for any other needs that you have during retirement. So
sure. You mentioned just should be your base income. The Center for Retirement Research at Boston College, this was in June 2021, but they put out this report. So it's been not even a year ago, and things have probably gotten worse. I'm making that assumption. But half of today's households will not have enough retirement income to maintain their pre-retirement standard of living, even if they work to age 65 and annuitize their financial assets, including the receipts from a reversed, listen to this one, including the receipts from a reverse mortgage on their homes.
What does that tell you?
No, it's not a positive outlook.
Not at all. Not at all. But you know what, Michelle? Being in the business for 25 plus years, I've heard this. Yeah. I've heard this for 25 years. And the numbers keep accelerating against the consumer.
Sure. All right. So, one reason, if I were talking to that woman at the and I'm not an advisor, I'm just me. If somebody said, yeah, I just don't really care about my 401k, and I would say, hey, I mean, there are some really good tax breaks that you can get that you don't get with crypto.
Right.
Maybe if you're buying crypto inside an IRA, maybe that's different. But let's talk a little bit about taxes being a reason that people should care
Sure.
about their 401ks.
This is a great reason to, focus on your 401k. Think about the tax break. Michelle, you get a tax break for every dollar that you invest into your 401k with pre-tax dollars.
Sure.
So let's say you make $50,000 a year and you put in 3% of your pay into your 401k. This is $1,500 and it drops your taxable income now down to $48,500.
Right.
I'm sorry, that's a $1,500 tax break for me today, right? Why wouldn't I do it?
Right. And also if your 401k has the Roth provision, now that's after tax dollars you're putting in, but that means you can withdraw it I can't talk, withdraw it tax-free.
Yes.
Later.
Right. So there's a lot of provisions in there as far as taxation that does help you as a consumer.
Sure.
So,
that's been my one thing with I've been in the crypto community for years and been purchasing Bitcoin and playing around with some of these altcoins and such. And people have not been paying attention to taxes. And they're just like, oh, make this money, make that money. I'm like, you want to give 40% of that to the government?
Yeah. It's funny because I was in a chat room the other night and on the investment space, and someone brought that up. It's like, oh, I made all this money and
no, you didn't.
I forgot to take out anything for taxes. And April 18th rolled around for this year, right? And they said, I had a $30,000 tax bill that I was unaware of. I said, well, just wait, because you will also receive a letter a couple months from now from IRS saying, because you didn't withhold enough taxes, we're going to charge you a penalty for delaying your taxes. So
exactly. All right. So we've got Social Security, tax breaks. What's another one? Why should people care?
How about dollar cost averaging? Okay. You talked about what you did with crypto. You consistently buy, buy.
Sure.
But think about this with your 401k. Every paycheck, a percentage of your paycheck goes into your 401k. You're dollar cost averaging into it. And by dollar cost averaging, Michelle, you buy more shares when the market's lower and less shares when the market's high, right? So over time, this could accelerate your holdings and your returns.
Exactly. All right. So another reason to care is the free money. That's a big one. The employer match.
It's huge. People miss this one. And it's funny because I'll get phone calls, Michelle. Hey, should I buy this stock or should I buy this crypto? What should I be doing right now? One of my very first questions is, have you maxed out your 401k up to the company match?
Yeah.
Some people will say, I don't even know what that is. Well, think about this. Do you realize, Michelle, that you can get to up to 100% returns on your contributions to your 401k?
Yep.
You need to check with your employer to see what the company match is. And let's say this company, let's use, for example, they match dollar for dollar up to 3%. And if you make $50,000 a year, remember we talked about that 3% dropping in earlier and you had that $1,500 tax break. Right. Well, let's say your company now matches and gave you another 3%. There's an additional $1,500. You put in $1,500, company puts in $1,500. Guess what? I don't care if you only go into the money market account or let it sit in cash in your 401k. You just now got 100% return on your money up to the company match.
It's funny. We've talked a lot about these examples and I've written a lot about these examples, but it wasn't until we did that How to Read Your 401k Statement video, and we'll put that link below here. When I saw it on the statement and how much money it can add up to, I was like, whoa, okay, now I get it.
That's a great point, actually. Pull out that statement, watch that video about that 401k statement and go back and just listen to that section of it. and you're going to realize, oh my gosh, how much am I missing by not just putting 3% of my pay in?
Exactly. All right. So what else? Why else should people care about the 401k?
Well, it's an easy way to invest. You know, most people are scared to get into the market. Look, you're automatically enrolled into a 401k today, almost everywhere you go, right? So this makes it easy. Also, many employers auto enroll you into a target date fund based on your age. Again, easy, not saying it's the best thing, but it's still easy. And you don't have to figure out how to invest your funds inside the 401k. It's a simple, easy process. So
sure. Although we do recommend people stay away from target date funds.
Oh, in the majority.
If you want to maximize your savings, but you're right. It is easy because they do put you in and you're on this path.
Right.
Okay. What else is there?
How about you can stash more money away? Okay. We've did many videos talking about the 401k contribution limits, and the 401k contribution limits are much higher than other retirement plans like an IRA. Sure. So your contribution limits for 2022, Michelle, are $20,500. And if you're over the age of 50, you can add an additional $6,500 this year. So that takes it up to $27,000 you can put in your 401k this year.
Yeah, that catch-up contribution is nice.
Yeah, but with an IRA, Michelle, you can contribute $6,000 and an additional $1,000 if you're over the age of 50. So big difference between this and the other assets like an IRA out there.
And I'd also say, last tip, we're going to wrap this video up. We don't want it to go too long. I think we could talk all day about this maybe. But the 401k is yours to keep. If you own one, if your company's vesting schedule, that's a whole nother thing. Know the vesting schedule, know when you can, the company match is actually yours, but you switch jobs or you retire, you could take your funds with you. You can roll them over. You can do all sorts of things with it. So,
it's yours.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just goes back to diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I think we've seen that with the big crashes that have happened in the last week and the just wipe out of certain coin, Luna, all of that, and UST. Just you put your eggs in one basket and the rug gets pulled. It happens all the time. So diversify. All right. Well, thanks, Brian, for this. Thanks to everybody who watched. If you like the content of this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another video from us on how to stop being in transaction and instead become an informed consumer. Until next time. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Michelle.
You bet.